What's going on, fellow currency enthusiasts? Let's talk about the 1964 Kennedy half dollar and why it's just so awesome. So the 1964 Kennedy half dollar is different from its successors mainly due to its composition. It's made up of 90% silver, whereas any of them from 65 to 70 contain only 40% silver, and any Kennedy halves that have come out after that contain no silver. You can definitely see this when you look at values of 1964 Kennedy halves, even beat up ones, compared to ones from other years. Now, the Denver and Philadelphia mints both minted the 1964 Kennedy half dollars, but they do have slight variations to them, and this can also be seen in the values. The Denver Mint made 156 million of them, compared to the 273 million of them that were rendered out of Philadelphia. So many collectors usually seek after the Denver Mint Mark coins a little bit more than the Philadelphia ones. In addition to that, the 1964 Kennedy half dollar was also issued in a proof version. So this was also in 90% silver, and these are going to be the most valuable. These had a really low mintage to them, just sitting under 4 million at 3.9 million of them made. Many people collect these proof versions in coin roll form, or they'll assemble them in something like a Dansko album, which is just by itself really old school. Now, a little history on the 1964 Kennedy half dollar, and hopefully it won't bore you too much, but it was introduced as a tribute to, obviously, President John F. Kennedy, following his assassination in 1963. The crazy thing about this coin is it had one of the most rapid design processes, if you want to even call it that, as well as productions ever seen. It was actually quite odd that they went with a 90% silver 1964 Kennedy half dollar, as there was a much larger shift away from the use of silver in coinage as its price was on the rise. This would obviously be reflected in the 1965 and 70 half dollars to come, but it was still really cool that they used the 90% silver composition for the 64 half dollar. So how collectible and valuable are they, you might ask, if you've even got to this part of the video? The 1964 Kennedy half dollars are very collectible, and there's varieties of them, one of which is the accented hair variant. The details in the strands of Kennedy's hair are a little more prominent, and this adds a bit of collectability to it and makes them a little more sought after. Another type of collector for the 1964 half dollar is simply silver stackers. The funny thing is, speaking of silver stackers, but pretty much when the coin came out, people already started hoarding them for the silver content, and that caused some conflict in and of itself at the time as well. Quick rundown of the prices for 1964 Kennedy half dollars can be seen on a variety of websites. You don't have to go to mine, varietyerrors.com, but a quick rundown would be the melt value as of today is just under $10, and that's due in fact to that silver composition. Now, a normal coin that's just from circulation can usually get you a few bucks, even in decent condition or average condition. But ones that are graded really high can be worth thousands of dollars. Usually these sit anywhere between a large window of values, depending on condition, from around $10 due to the composition of silver alone, and upwards of a few $100s for ones in the MS 60 plus range. Now, there are ones that have sold for thousands of dollars. Some of you might be saying, hey, there was that one that sold for 10 grand. I'm not arguing with you either. There is ones that have sold in upwards of $4,000 or $5,000 pretty regularly for a 1964 Kennedy half, but these were also graded almost in perfect grade in the very high MS grades. Other ones to look for, of course, are the proof coins, and those can sell for thousands of dollars as well. I'll put a link in the description box to a website that shows you recent auction sales, and that way you can kind of not take my word for it and look at the prices for yourself. Anyway, I hope you enjoy 1964 Kennedy half dollars as much as I do. I love silver coinage. Morgan silver dollars are definitely my favorite amongst them. But let me know what your favorite is in the comments, and stay tuned for more videos to come.